Hi everyone, today what we're going to do is put our roof and add our porch and our patio to the house that we've drawn. The deal with putting on the roof is fairly straightforward because we're going to use a gable roof, which of course is the one that looks kind of like an A on the end of a house. What we have to do though is we do have to allow for the offset. Now, as you can see, this is where we left off last week. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines. And notice what happens when I click on them, they go all the way to the bottom. So I really don't need to get rid of them. I just need to pull them down by grabbing the grips and making them actual walls. Now, where we inserted doors and windows, we can get rid of those lines. So here's what we've got to look at, our three elevations that we've got to add our roof to. On two of them, the roof, on the front and the back, the roof will look like just a box because we'll be looking at the inclined surface itself. Here on the right side, it will look like the gable roof. And we'll also be adding a gable here on the front for the porch. So that's our options that we've got to do today. Okay, so let's start. It's actually better to start with the one. I'm getting rid of these lines for our door and window heights. It's actually easier to start with the gable itself. So we'll start with the right-hand view. And what we need to do is we're going to work with a truss, a roof truss that is cantilevered out. So in other words, it's going to stick out from the edge of the roof, and our overhang is going to be 16 inches, which is standard here in North Carolina. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this line and I'm going to extend it out 16 inches both ways. Clear out of that. Now what I'm going to do is I've got to put my fascia out here, my eave and everything. But what we want to do first is we want to start and put in our gable itself. So what we need is we need a pitch on our roof. That's the actual slope of it. Our pitch, which is rise over run, we're going to use a 612 roof, which is a really nice looking roof. It's just tall enough that gives it a great profile, but not too tall that's going to look funny. Now, if we were going to have living space or storage space up here, we would have to get a lot taller. We'd have to go to a 1012 or even a 1212 to get enough storage space. But a 612 looks really good on just a house. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw me a line, and I'm just going to draw me a vertical here. And now if you notice, look what I've got. This is in notes, and this is something that I've got to pay attention to. I want to be in the proper layer because this should be on walls. Okay? Now I'm going to go back in and make sure that I'm on walls. So there we go. I'm going to click on this one to check. Yep, it is a wall layer. So now I'm going to offset that 12 inches because that's my run. That's your constant. It will always be 12. Now I'm going to offset the bottom line up 6 inches. That's my rise. And that gives me my point that I'm looking for. So notice what I've got now. I can do a line from here to here. Okay? And that's the start of my roof. Now I'm going to offset that. And what I'm going to offset it is 4 inches. Okay? So there we go on that. So that's pretty neat the way that works out. So now what I can do, once I've got that drawn, I can get rid of this line and this line. This line's going to come in handy because I'm going to drag it down and put it right there. Okay? Because that's a line that I can end up using. So now what I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and draw me a line vertical from, now I'm just going to pick this line because it runs all the way across the house. I'm just going to draw me a line to there. Now I'm going to say extend. I'm going to use this as my extend line. I've already hit enter to select all. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to project that and project that up to where it needs to be. Look how quick this roof starts coming together. Now let's go to mirror, grab these two lines, grab the end point and pull down. And there it is, pretty darn quick. See what we've got? Now we need to put our fascia board in here. So I'm going to offset, I'm going to do it an inch to give it a good profile. And then I'm going to offset this down an inch, because what we have to do is we have to have a good overhang. I'm going to use my fillet command. Clean that up. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, now what we need is we need, of course, our soffit. So what we do here is we take this and we extend this up to here. Okay? So that will clean that up pretty good. By doing that, that's going to give us a nice profile here in just a minute. Okay? So what I'll do with this now is I can drag this line back to here. Now I'm going to trim up for looks purposes. Okay. So as you can see, this cleans up really nice and everything. Now, as far as doing all this trim and everything, we don't necessarily have to do that on here, and a lot of people don't. So what a lot of people will do is they'll just not even put that in at all, and they'll just clean it to here, which is just the overhang, the 1 foot 4 or 16 inches, okay? So there you go. See, that ends up cleaning that up really nice. So again, what I can do is I can take and mirror this. Let's go back into mirror. I can mirror this around, okay? Extend this up. Let's push this back to here. Let's push this back to here. Now I can get rid of that line. I'm going to go back into trim and I'm going to get rid of this. We don't have a line going across there. Now if we had a hip roof, that line would be there and it'd look a little different. So there's the top of our roof. There's where our ridge is, and we've developed that just by cleaning up the house itself. Now I'm going to move everything down a little bit because I'm going to need some room to work. Okay, so there we go. Again, now these sections of the foundation plan and stuff that we use, we don't really need them anymore. The one in the middle we don't. We do sort of need the patio and we need the porch. So you still want to make sure that you are lined up. That's going to be something that's important. So see, that's in line with that. Okay? So remember, our roof sticks out 16 inches all the way around the house. So again, we're going to go offset 16 inches. Okay? And now I can draw a line from the ridge over, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this point and drag up. Okay? Now I can connect these. Drag this over just till I get an intersection. Now I can drag this one up to my intersection. And again, I'm going to mirror, just to make it easy. I want to mirror that around the midpoint of the floor. Okay? And now that's in place. I can drag this over. And look how quick I made that roof. Pretty simple, right? And the good part about it is, of course, this roof, so if I go to copy and get all three of those lines, I'm going to grab the midpoint of my finished floor, find the midpoint of this finished floor, there it is, drop that in place. That roof is exactly the same on the front and the back. Look how quick, okay? So the only other roof that we need is the roof on the actual front porch. So we need to know where the front porch is. Well, here's the edge of the porch, remember? So I'm going to drag this straight down. Now that's like the edge of the house. So watch what I can do here. I'm going to go to copy. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab these. And I'm going to grab that from the edge of the house at the floor line because I can go straight to that right there. Okay? That's pretty neat that we can do that. And then I can go mirror and I can find the midpoint. Now you want the midpoint of the porch, not the steps, the porch. And I can mirror, if I zoom in, from this point, and make sure you get on the line, okay, up. So now look what we've got. Let's get rid of this now. Now we can go back in to fill it and clean this up. And that quick. And we can go ahead and put our porch line in here too. Let's clean this up too right here while we're at it. Let's drag this down, pop it right there on the end, okay? I'm going to go ahead and drag this up and put it right there on the ground. Now I'm going to mirror that around now from that point, okay? So see, there comes my porch into view, okay? So it's starting to make sense now. Now, we need that. We need to know how deep our porch is. Our porch is 10 feet deep. So guess what? We're going to have the exact same thing. We're going to have a line. It goes from here back across. So that gives us our height there. The porch is 10 feet deep, so offset 120. We're going to offset this out. There's our porch there. Okay? And now what we need, of course, is we just need the box for the front of our porch. So again, you can do copy or you can... we can just draw a line, whatever we want to do. If I wanted to, I could come right here. And the easiest thing to do, honestly, is draw this out to here. Click on it, drag it out. 16 more inches. Uh-oh, don't let it get at an angle. 16 inches. Okay. Now we can copy that up because we've got that fascia board all the way along. That'll give us a look. Okay. And now let's just do a line from here up to here. I'm using the trim command to clean this up. And look, there's my porch on the front of the house. Again, now, we're going to need some room to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to say move. And I'm going to grab everything up here that I need to move. I'll slide down a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing again here to get myself a little room. Okay. So see, it's starting to take shape pretty quick. We can kick our floor line out to the edge. Right there's the edge of our porch. And here's our grate again. We can drag this on out here now where we need it. Okay. All right, so look how quickly it's starting to come together. Now, speaking of floor line, this line here can be shown on the floor plan, or we can just show a dimension up to it, or we can just stop it. Because this will be all brick, we can bring it back here and stop it at the edge of the porch. Because it'll give it a cleaner look if we do. Okay, so that's going to go there. Same thing here. Now you got to be careful about moving this completely though. We need to put in a patio too. So that's the other thing we've got to do. So what we've done now is we've got our roof and everything in. See, it's done. But what we have to do now is we have to finish our porch and our patio. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video now. And then we'll start another one for our porch and our patio. We'll do that on our next one. Have a great day.